The Placing You First podcast begins in less than 20 seconds.
Visit crcgroup.com to subscribe, download our award-winning tools and intel articles that help you stay aware of emerging issues and trends, or get a snapshot of the insurance marketplace with our industry-leading Ready indexes. You'll find it all on crcgroup.com under Tools and Intel.
Welcome back to the Placing You First podcast, the CRC Group podcast that puts the spotlight on hot topics in specialty insurance. I'm Amanda, joined by my co-host, Scott Gordon, and today we're talking about one of the fastest growing and most complex areas in our industry, insuring the cannabis industry.
Today, we're joined by two leaders helping to shape the future of this space. Tony McIntosh, president of the newly launched Starwind Cannabis program, and Eric Morrison, EVP of Starwind Cannabis.
This is the Placing You First podcast from CRC Group.
This podcast features news and insights from a vast knowledge base of over 5,100 associates
who write more than $35 billion in premium annually.
Plus, we give you the latest information on what's happening at CRC.
This is the Placing You First podcast.
And now the hosts of the podcast, Amanda Knight and Scott Gordon.
Now, whether you're already placing cannabis risk or just starting to explore the opportunity, this episode is going to be packed with insights for you. But before we jump in, Amanda, I think we should let everyone warm up with some cannabis trivia since they're new to the podcast with a little something that we did last time called the pot quiz.
Oh, boy.
Who says learning can't be fun?
We're not grading. We're not grading anyone. Okay, so to lead off, and this is a mixture of pop culture and scientific prowess. So you should have a good chance at scoring a couple of points. Oh, there are no points. Never mind.
I'm glad we have Eric.
Okay, so I know this is just for fun. So this is one of the questions I came up with myself. This Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor shares the same name as a 1998 stoner comedy starring Dave Chappelle.
I don't know the answer to this one, so I fail, I guess.
The answer is, if there's no takers, it's Half Baked. They have a flavor name, Half Baked.
Yep. Jeez, like that's just
and it's great.
Obvious.
It's half like cookie dough
but
and half brownie.
Considering I'm a vanilla ice cream guy.
Oh, it's one of their better ones. Okay, so and then our next question.
Well, we're doing good. Yep. So 0
we're
for
all
1.
At 0.
We all fail.
Okay, this is this is interesting. Which iconic cannabis strain, celebrated for its vibrant effects and golden appearance, is often dubbed the Queen of Cannabis? I did not know this, Amanda.
I definitely don't know this.
Blue Dream?
It is Acapulco Gold.
Acapulco Gold. That's like a OG strain, like way back from what I hear.
Right. From what the kids tell us.
We're 0 for 2.
We're doing good.
Okay, this one might be a little difficult. Smoke on the Water is the name of the fictional medical marijuana shop in which popular video game?
Oh boy.
Now, is this a Nintendo game? Like you take the cartridge out and blow on and put back in? Because I don't remember that.
No, it's not a Nintendo game. I don't think they let pot references go through, but it's Grand Theft Auto is what it is. Grand Theft Auto, Smoke on the Water.
Boy, at least I got some verbiage to go back and talk to my kids about,
Yeah, here's some good ones. Which U.S. state was the first to legalize recreational marijuana?
Colorado.
Right?
It is Colorado. They passed Amendment 64 in 2012 alongside Washington State.
Right.
Hey, we're doing better.
Here we go.
A little better on
We're
this
on the
one.
board.
Like, I want to put in a disclaimer here that they are getting the questions right that actually matter. So
I know. The final question. The cannabis plant has two primary species that are widely cultivated. I'm sorry. What are they called?
two species that are widely cultivated?
Mm-hmm.
Indica and sativa?
Yes, that is correct. The cannabis plant has two primary species.
Oh, see, you guys got the hard ones right.
I would say that if this was a college class, you'd probably pass.
Hey, we're getting there. We're warming up.
Well, what do they say? C's get degrees, right?
That's right.
Maybe.
Well, okay, now that we've warmed you guys up, let's dive into the big picture. What makes the cannabis industry marketplace different from other lines that agents may be used to?
I'll jump in here. The cannabis insurance market's a unique animal. So unlike traditional industries like retail or real estate, cannabis operates in a framework of state regulations with a constant legality overhang. And so this means carriers and agents need to be hyper specialized to navigate risks, FinCEN requirements, compliance, and the stigma that kind of still lingers. And so I'd say that the risk profile is also distinct. You can think high value crops, cash heavy operations, ownership structures, and supply chain complexity from seed to sale. So standard BOP type policies just don't cut it. And that's why we have tailored coverage to fit the industry's specific needs, like full market value on crop or cargo cover, while product or cash is moving around, and product liability as examples. And so I really love how different it is in that it's fast paced. So it's evolving. It's an industry that requires brokers to stay ahead of the curve. And those brokers that present high quality data and narratives on operations and what the insured truly needs are the ones that certainly win a lot easier, at least with us.
Yeah. I mean, you nailed it, Tony. I mean, I think one of the unique things that I've found in this industry is it's extremely fast paced. So if you like the same thing every day, you're in the wrong business. It's something different every day. It's constantly evolving. Um, it's it's exciting because you're not looking at the same things over and over again. So it is unique in that regard where a cannabis operation just isn't a cannabis operation. They're all different, even though they may be doing the same things. So it's pretty cool to be involved in something from the ground up like we have been.
Well, and with that in mind, what are maybe the top three things, if you could boil it down to three, that you would want any retail agent to absolutely understand about placing cannabis risks in today's market?
I would say knowing your customer, knowing the exposures, knowing the risk, knowing what type of operations they're doing, because these guys typically will start out doing one thing and then evolve and grow, and no pun intended, but they have related entities that will pop up that you may not be aware of. So I think a lot of it is just knowing your customer and knowing what type of risk management practices they have in place. And then the second thing I think would be that knowing the forms that are out there in terms of insurance, the ISO based forms versus proprietary, manuscript endorsements that are out there, because ISO didn't really have a product for this industry, not yet. They're coming out with some forms and some rates and compiling data and whatnot, but knowing the difference between ISO based and proprietary forms, and then really getting into the details and understanding those forms. Because within those forms, that kind of leads me to the third thing, are the warranties, terms, conditions, exclusions, those sort of things are key to understand and be able to speak intelligently about what is required of the operator in order to trigger coverage or make sure the policy responds in the way that's intended to. So I think those three things are probably the most important, at least from an underwriting perspective. And then just getting out there and being able to speak to these guys, because everybody likes to talk about what they do for a living, and these guys are no different. So understand them, understand what they're doing, and yeah, I'd say that's top three. Tony, if I missed anything.
No, I don't think so. I think to return the "you nailed it" line, you nailed it, buddy. But I'll frame it slightly differently. I'd say one, prioritize risk management. So clients need to show strong security and compliance to get competitive rates. Two, don't assume that those standard policies work. And so cannabis needs bespoke solutions, kind of like our in the marine for transport, Eric, or how we can help employers with work comp and EPLI as examples. And then three, to your point, is staying educated. And so as the market's changing fast, there's new risks like cyber threats to POS systems and manufacturing infrastructure. So brokers who really niche themselves and keep learning about exposures and risk transfer vehicles, in my opinion, will stand out and build a lot of trust with clients and quickly.
Right. And you mentioned, this is a really quickly evolving field. So what sort of misconceptions do you think agents or clients have about cannabis coverage?
I think one big misconception is that cannabis insurance is, and I'll keep hitting on the head, is just like any other business insurance. It's not. So some clients may think that a standard BOP will cover their grow operation or dispensary, as an example, but those policies rarely account for cannabis specific risks like goods in process or product liability and withdrawal expense. So, that certainly is one misnomer. I think another misconception is that coverage is unaffordable. Yes, premiums can be higher due to the risk profile, but with proper risk management, along with, again, a detailed application or narrative that clearly defines what those operations are, can really go a long way. And having a specialized broker or advisor that knows coverage like property and casualty, work comp, management liability like D&O, EPL, fiduciary, and cyber, I think those premiums and really budgeting year over year become very manageable. And lastly, I'd say that some agents assume that this market's too risky to enter, but with the right expertise or specialization, it's a huge opportunity to build a niche practice.
I think another misconception of something that goes on out there is that every program's the same. They're all the same. They all have the same forms. They all have the same rates. It's not a one size fits all. Everybody's got their forms that are, in the early beginning phases of this industry, which I started back in 2017. There were very few programs out there, and a lot of it was cookie cutter, much of the same thing over and over again, in terms of forms, rates, all that stuff. But it's matured a lot. It's come a long way, and I think a huge misconception is that all the programs are alike, and that's just simply not the case. I mean, our program is very different than any others out there, which is why we kind of came to Starwind to start this whole thing. So
It's a good segue, Scott.
Yeah, you guys are clearly well-versed specialists, which explains why you're over at Starwind Cannabis running things. What inspired the launch specifically of Starwind Cannabis, and why now?
yeah, I'll continue on that path. I think that it's still a very underserved market. As many programs and carriers and partners that are out there willing to offer coverage, there's still some friction and brain damage going on out there for these retailers that it's difficult to get this stuff kind of pushed through sometimes. And we kind of came about to offer, a helping hand in that. We want to make sure we are treating our customers as we'd want to be treated. So I think that's the main reason that we kind of came around, is to offer some stability in an underserved market, because it tends to be all over the place from carrier to carrier or MGU to MGU. They're, like I said, they're all very different. And not to quote Forrest Gump, but it's like a box of chocolates. You don't really ever know what you're going to get from program to program, and truthfully, from submission to submission. So I think there's a huge opportunity for us here, which is why we kind of came about.
Yeah, I think I'll bookend that too with a couple other points in that, the cannabis industry's growth is undeniable, right? I mean, sales hit 24 billion in 2021 and are projected to reach 70 billion in just a few years. So, to Eric's point, the insurance marketplace hasn't kept pace with that. And so they're leaving gaps for businesses that are needing reliable coverage, and we're hoping to kind of serve up what our knowledge is of this business and the appropriate coverages that will kind of shelter these operations as they are, from a new venture status through their growth stages of their lives as a company. And I think Starwind saw a chance primarily to bring two extremely good-looking, amazing cannabis leaders into the fold.
Of course.
Both of which couldn't be here today. By the way, just kidding. But in all seriousness, I think Starwind saw a chance to lead with a program, to Eric's point, that's innovative, that's broker focused, and built for the long haul. And why now, you ask? I think the timing's perfect. Legalization is expanding, stigma's fading, and brokers are hungry for specialized solutions with the marketplace friction that they're up against, which Eric was hitting on in his points. And so we launched in Q1 of 2025 to bring stability to the marketplace and then to meet that demand head on.
So if we wanted to be a little more specific or detailed about it, what specifically do you feel like is most appealing or sets Starwind Cannabis apart that kind of grabs agents' attention or should grab their attention?
Well, I'll lead on that one too. Ease of doing business, that is something we take very seriously. It is not our job to say no. It's our job to find a way to make this work for everybody. It's got to work for our partners on the carrier side. It's got to work for the broker. It's got to work for the client. And I think a lot of times there's some resistance in that, well, it doesn't fit this box. Well, if you're in for the box fitting underwriting guidelines or underwriting, this is not your industry because it's one big gray area. And so we are here to find solutions, make it work, and truthfully make the broker part of the process. Because I like Tony, he knows I say this all the time. It's like I don't want to know what we're doing right. I want to know what we're doing wrong because that's where we can improve things for them. And so we want them to be a part of that process and included because that's what we're ultimately here to do is to help them. So, Tony, you can feel free to add or if I missed something, but
No, I think you're hitting that again right on the head. We'll just keep that theme going. We're basically focused on eliminating marketplace friction and providing stability out there, as you've kind of been hearing this, over and over again in our points. And we've tackled some of those pain points like crop table valuations and blanket limits on products, things like offering market value crop coverage or no MLIs on BI, and having flexible policy structure across multiple operations. But what we're really committed to is our service standard. To Eric's point, there's just a lot of friction and there's a lot of trenching out there where it becomes very difficult for agents just to kind of pop up and shoot with their hard hats on, opposed to running to trench to trench to trench to trench to kind of do that. So our team is really bringing decades of niched experience to the table here. We're not just selling policies, we're building partnerships. So our select distribution partners get direct access to us, get responsive service, and they get a program that we feel is designed to really serve well.
Can you walk us through the types of coverage offered and what kind of risks this program is built to handle?
Starwind Cannabis really covers the full supply chain, Scott. So cultivators, manufacturers, distributors, dispensaries, and even LROs. So our core coverages include property, GL, that's a separate and distinct form from our products liability form. We have wonderful capabilities in cargo per conveyance. We can help with workers' comp and have specialized options like management liabilities. So think D&O, EPL, and fiduciary, as mentioned before. And we've got cyber liability solutions too to cover this growing risk for operators.
With that in mind, you guys have a lot on the go. This is a growing area of interest, a growing area of business. What are you guys most excited about as Starwind Cannabis gains traction?
I would say forming the long-term partnerships with the people in this industry. I think that is what I'm most excited about because, while we're, in the insurance industry, what we ultimately is out there selling is trust. And, we want to do business with people that we know, like, and trust. And it's, while it's the business that kind of brings us all together, it's the relationships that endure it. So ultimately, we're in the relationship business, and those relationships are meaningful to us, and we appreciate all of them. And so that's what I'm most excited about. That's what gets me going, is helping people and helping our brokers find solutions for their clients. Just like, I mean, that's what we're here to do.
I'd say for me, it's about impact. So we aim to change how brokers and clients see this marketplace. So we're really excited to see our program empower brokers to win more business and to help these cannabis operators thrive in what we've described as a pretty challenging and tough insurance environment. Plus, with our team's drive, we're just getting started. So the chance to serve this space and innovate with technology tools or new coverage areas is incredibly rewarding to us.
We look forward to watching you guys grow.
Is there anything else you guys want to touch on before we get to the fun stuff?
No more quizzes, right?
No more challenging quizzes about video games.
I'm sorry. They won't be that challenging, but we want to get to know you guys. I mean, we know that you guys are very well versed in what you do.
Yeah, we've been entrenched in this business for a long time, Scott. Both Eric and I are third generation insurance nerds. So we were born in this business. We didn't get the opportunity to do anything other than insurance. It's like
Right.
The family's legacy just gently mocked, all of our early ambitions to do anything other than insurance. Just kind of gently laughed in the corner, like, don't worry, they'll be back. And sure enough, we've been in this beautiful business for forever. So
well, and we appreciate you guys, giving us the goods, so to speak. But now we want to get to know you a little bit with something that Amanda and I like to call rapid fire, which you just answer off the top of your head, no right, no wrong. We just want to get to know you. The first question in rapid fire: what food do you absolutely refuse to eat?
I'll say green beans. I used to hide them in my milk as a kid. And I actually thought my parents never knew, like now that I have kids, I understand how much they were probably laughing their butts off when they did the dishes.
Yeah.
100%. But points for creativity. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I would have to go. I'd have to go with tapioca pudding. It's a texture thing.
I can see that.
Can't do it.
I will eat both of those things just for the record. Doesn't bother me.
Just for the record. I won't eat either one, just for the record. Okay, so it's summertime. The kids are out of school. What is your favorite summer travel destination, with or without kids?
For me, it's the mountains. I think, the fresh air, the lakes, the rivers, the hikes, the little cell signal, do you right.
Agree.
Yeah, I'd have to go the opposite because Tony gets the beach and he gets the sun 24/7 being in San Clemente. So, I conversely live in Kansas City where there is no beach, no mountains, no nothing. So I will take either one of those, beach, mountain, anywhere other than where it's hot, humid, and flat. That's where I'm at.
Rib joints. Yeah.
I lived in Kansas City for 3 years. I feel your pain. I remember those days.
Yeah, Alabama, you can relate.
It's flat and windy.
Yeah, boy,
Yep.
those flat states though. Whew, it's a long drive through your state, Eric. I'll just tell you that.
That's right.
Okay, our third and final question: what is your go-to pump up song before like a big meeting or an epic workout or something?
Eye of the Tiger. It never fails to get me going, and it's about rising up to the moment. It's on the quick playlist.
There you go.
I'll go with James Brown. Get up off of that thing.
Yeah.
That one always, you can't have a bad day if you listen to that.
Perfect. Both classic choices. Well, thank you both so much, Tony and Eric, for joining us.
Thank you. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you so much for breaking down the cannabis market in a clear, practical way that we can all appreciate. If you would like to learn more about the Starwind Cannabis program, You can check out the link in the show notes. Scott will be sure to put it there, or visit starwindcannabis.com to learn more. Don't forget to follow Placing You First on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time.
Thank you all.
Are you ready to move faster and go further? Take your career to the next level. Join Team CRC to gain access to best-in-class tools, data, exclusive programs, and more. Send your resume to resumes@crcgroup.com and read testimonials from recent hires on LinkedIn.
Search for CRC Group.